Before I even had the honor of meeting Makena, I would have people come up to me and say, I met your mini-me today. And as time went on and I finally had the honor of meeting her, I realized what a compliment that was. Her drive and dedication and everything that she does is something extraordinary, and I am proud to know and have to watch her grow into the leader that she is today.
I'm truly honored to introduce my sister in Christ, Makena Blalock. She's a shining example of hard work, love, and compassion. Her dedication to serving others is unmatched, and her heart is full of kindness. Makena continuously seeks mentors both spiritually and personally, always striving to be better for those around her. As her mentor over the last 6 years, it's been a joy to watch her lead with such grace among her peers, along her community, and on the state level with FFA. It is a privilege to know her and to experience the beautiful impact that she makes on each and every person that she meets. It is my honor to introduce to you my sister in Christ
and my mini-me and your 2024-2025 Georgia State FFA Secretary, Makena Blalock.
It was April 29th in my first Georgia FFA convention. I was walking like this from the Agri-Science Fair exhibit, holding a shiny blue ribbon and a couple new plaques and banners. It was only my first year in FFA, and boy, was I successful. In addition to the honors I was racking up, this phone was booming. I had an ongoing list of Snapchat streaks, people texting me congratulations, and a cute Instagram feed. I had it made. These feelings quickly faded as convention ended. With nothing else to do, I felt empty. I was distracting myself with a long to-do list. Maybe I really didn't have it made. Award after award, friendship after friendship, and event after event continued to leave me empty. I was always chasing that next thing that could never satisfy. You see, the awards, phone, and friendships were not bad, but my intention behind them did not truly align with what I was made for. I knew I was made for more, but in selfishness, I chose to ignore what really mattered and prioritize everything else. Do you feel empty? Are you always chasing but feel that there's something more? That empty feeling stems from a lack of purpose. This summer, I traveled on a mission trip along the Amazon River in Brazil, which caused me to question what really matters. You see, in order to wake up motivated, to be fulfilled, and to demonstrate drive through the hard moments, we need a purpose. We need more. Luckily, there was a purpose set for us before we were ever created. What is this purpose? What were we made for?
Building a relationship with God and my family. Jesus. Making people happy. My mama. Determination and faith. Faith and education. Family. Jesus' resurrection. My faith and family. Building relationships with God, family, and friends. Mentors and friends.
Friendship, fellowship, family, and faith.
Jesus and family. Trusting in Jesus. Following God. Not the love you receive, but the love you give. Faith and hope. Ethics and community. Following the Lord's will for my life.
All of their answers related to the people around us and the passions in God above us. Similar to those FFA members, reflect on what you believe you were made for. In Mark chapter 12, verses 29 to 31, Jesus reveals our purpose. He says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is love your neighbor as yourself. There is no command greater than these." Notice, Jesus did not say the greatest command was to win the most awards, have the most friendships, have over 1,000 followers, go to a prestigious college, or make the most money. The more that we were made for is simple. Love God and love people with all of our heart. The first is to love God or some other passion with everything we got. In July, my teammates and I hosted Cult Conference. There, Ethan and I led a workshop titled Fear Factor. I met a student named Yuritsa who later invited me to her youth group and told me that No Longer Slaves was her favorite worship song as I had played it earlier. She later texted me, "It's amazing how the Lord has a path laid out for us." Your responses, like, "My goal is to lead people to Jesus, to show more love, and to become an FFA officer," or "I will overcome my fear of praying in front of others," or "I will live to love God," have been so impactful this year. You and students like Yuritsa have been bold in sharing your love for your passion, reminding me to love God through dedicating all that I do to Him and doing it from the heart. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, do it from the heart, as something done for the Lord and not for people." We love God or some other passion by dedicating our heart to Him. If you compete in a CDE or LDE, pray before competing. Dedicate your effort to it, win or lose. Do it from the heart. When you wake up, read the Bible or some book about your passion. Do it from the heart. If you serve in an officer position, share about how your passion has impacted you. Do it from the heart. In all that you do it from the heart. Loving God or some other passion from the heart equips us to love people. Love is so much more than a romantic feeling, but a sacrifice. Jesus had so much love for us that He gave up His life, knowing some would not love Him back, so that we could have life to the full. We are called to have that same unconditional love for others. In November, I attended a Mary Persons High FFA chapter meeting on my 18th birthday. I was hoping to celebrate at home until I entered a classroom that was full of birthday decorations. They sang happy birthday, lit the candles of a custom cookie cake, and wore party hats. Mr. Smith, Lainey, Riley, Chris, Ryan, and other Mary Persons FFA members did not have to, but they put in effort to make me feel loved. Like Mary Persons, love others, not because you have to, but because that is what you were made for. My year of service has taught me that loving others means to serve, to put others above yourself, even when it is difficult. At times this year, my feet have hurt, and I've been tired, frustrated, unmotivated, and discouraged. I was not perfect at it, but when I chose to put the difficult aside and dance with that student anyways, put all my effort into that conference anyways, talk with that student anyways, go to that chapter visit anyways, and serve others anyways, it was so rewarding. My teammates have faced similar difficulties this year, yet they still stepped up to serve. Like Carson, who goes on Alani runs for me, even when he's busy. Mason, who claims that friendships are not his thing, but has stepped up to become family. Emma, who humbly serves others, even when it feels like all the pressure in the world is on her shoulders. Jackson, who serves through hosting the best Christmas parties and shooting practices. Ethan, who genuinely asks you how you're doing, even if no one thought to ask him first. John Haven, the busiest man I know, who never complains, but pours into his work and into his team. And Shelby, who selflessly puts her own emotions aside to constantly encourage and laugh, and I mean laugh, with me. My teammates and you, Georgia FFA, have taught me that love is service. There are practical ways that you can love too. Love greater than you love yourself. Think of actions others can do to make you feel loved. Instead of waiting on someone else to act, do it for others. Hold the door open. Holding the door open is a simple, everyday way to serve. Encourage. Look for the good in everyone and then tell them what you found. Listen. You can't serve others without understanding their needs. Listen and get to know them. Loving your neighbor as yourself is service, and service is so worth it. Now we know the more that we were made for, loving God and loving people with all of our heart. But often something can hold us back from fully stepping into it. As a senior in high school, I have been overwhelmed by my college decision. Oklahoma State or Georgia. My mind constantly raced with the fear of making the wrong choice. Feelings, like fear, have often been my stumbling block, holding me back from pursuing my purpose. Even as I wrote this retiring address, my feelings caused me to question if I was saying the right things. But I realize no matter where I go or how I feel, as long as I make it my priority to love God and love people with all my heart, then I'm right where I am supposed to be. What holds you back from fully stepping into your purpose? Is it difficult decisions, fear, pride, laziness, or anxiety? When you begin to live for your purpose, you will realize that these things have no power over you. Maybe it's friendships, a long list of responsibilities, clubs and organizations, sports, or your phone. These things can be good, but not when they distract you from more. I'm not asking you to give them up, but rather let go of what holds you back and involve the more that you were made for in all that you do, in all that you feel, and in all of your life. The greatest thing you will ever do is not defined by an officer, position, award, game, or post, but by how you love God and love people through every opportunity that you are given. How will you live for the more that you were made for? How will you make loving God and loving people the central focus of everything that you do? You were made for so much more than sitting in the dark, fear, anxiety, selfishness, or depression. You were made for so much more than the ordinary or the comfortable. You were made for so much more than putting your worth in meaningless relationships, plaques, banners, or likes. In all that you do, you were made to love God and love people with all of your heart. Georgia FFA, you were made for more.
Makena, you're a great person and teammate because your loving attitude and thoughtful personality. Your dedication to everything, like watching the movie Twisters twice in 1 week, is something that our team needed, as well as the over 81,000 Georgia FFA members. Love, Emma, Ethan, Jackson, John Haven, Mason, Shelby, and Carson. Georgia FFA, get on your feet and make some noise for your 2024-2025 Georgia FFA State Secretary from the Snorville FFA chapter, Makena Blalock.